ومن يضلل فلا هادي له واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله. اما بعد فان اصدق الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الامور محدثاتها وكل محدثه بدعه وكل بدعه ضلاله وكل ضلاله في النار. السلام عليكم ورحمه الله. Today, inshallah, we want to try to today is the last day, right?
Yes.
We want to try to finish. Inshallah, I think this has been the information has been needed out exactly, and I think today we'll be able to finish. Inshallah, what we're going to try to learn. Today, actually, we want to start with as far as Allah. We dealt with shirk, just fundamentals of shirk. Today, we want to go back and finish the attributes of Allah. Today is the one called Sukh. A-S as in Sam, dash, S-U, S as in Sam, U-K-H-T. A-S dash, S as in Sam, U-K-H-T. In Arabic, for the brothers and sisters, we're studying Arabic. السخ السين خاء طاء الجبر الطاء nonetheless. Alright. They also translate this as anger. But a lot of times they keep using a synonym. Al-Ghadab and Al-Sukh, they both translate as anger. And to the best of my knowledge, we're going to come to that, inshallah. I'm glad you brought that up. And for those who didn't hear what he said, and for the tape, those who listened to the tape who didn't hear what he said, why do they translate the word anger as wrath? It's a very, very good question. This word is one of the attributes of Allah and one of the established attributes of Allah. And our evidence for this is like the evidence that we use for the other thing, which is the book of Allah, the Sunnah of the Prophet, and the Ijma', or the consensus of the Sahaba. That all of them agree that he had sukh. Like I said, the word ghadab, which is the word we had before, 2 weeks ago I think, they translated it to anger also. To the best of my knowledge, the difference between al-ghadab and sukh is that sukh is something that is what is the word? Not pronounced, but it is the apparent type of displeasure. It's a can't lose an English word now. Obvious, that's the word I'm looking for. Displayed type of displeasure. So the person can be displeased with something, and it'll be inside of him, and outwardly you won't see it. Sukh is something that you see the result of what is inside the person as far as displeasure is concerned. Alright? Alright? So we know that Allah has a sukh. And some of these words, like I said, they're synonyms, but for lack of better words, we'll say that this is just strong displeasure. Strong displeasure. That's sukh. And Allah has this, and this is established in the Qur'an, and it's established in the Sunnah, the authentic Sunnah. It's also established among the Sahaba, the Ijma' or the consensus of the Sahaba. So for most of these attributes that we've already dealt with, before we dealt with shirk, we were dealing with all these attributes: the pleasure of Allah, the anger of Allah, the love of Allah, the coming, and we dealt with that, right? All of these attributes have been established so far by three sources: Qur'an, Sunnah, and Ijma'. Sometimes you won't find things being substantiated by the three sources. Sometimes you'll find them being substantiated by just one source, just by the Qur'an, or just by the Sunnah. Alright? For this one we have the evidence. This one piece of evidence is chapter 47, verse 28. Chapter 47, verse 28. Where Allah, this is the name of the surah, is called Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It says, ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهُمُ اتَّبَعُوا مَا أَسْخَطَ اللَّهَ وَكَرِهُوا رِضْوَانَهُ فَأَحْبَطَ أَعْمَالَهُم. Allah says that will be because they followed that which strongly displeased Allah. That which angered Him, and hated that which displeased Him. Therefore He made their actions vain. And this is an interesting verse, because one of the signs of a mu'min, there's a lot of signs to be a mu'min, and one of the signs of a true mu'min, a person called mu'min, a person who believes in Allah, male and female, who believes in Allah the way they should believe in Allah. We say Allah makes us like this. I mean, one of the true signs of a person who's a mu'min, which many Muslims don't know, is that you have to love what Allah and His Messenger love. And you have to hate what Allah and His Messenger hate. If a person loves what Allah and His Messenger hate, or hates what Allah and His Messenger love, this is kufr. Kufr. This person has become a kafir. There's no way you can hate that which Allah loves and is pleased with, and call yourself a believer. Okay? So if you find yourself loving or being just loving or having a strong likeness, either loving or having a strong likeness for that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hates or has the strongest pleasure for, know for surety that you need to make wudu, make it well, make 2 rak'ah, and ask Allah for His attention. Because you're borderline on kufr, becoming a kafir. No one has the right to be displeased or hate what Allah loves, or His Prophet loves, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. In fact, one of the companions of the Messenger of Allah, Tawheed al-Yaman, radiallahu anhu, he was standing with some Muslims one day and some Persians, some Pagans from among the Persians. He dropped a piece of food. So the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, from his sunnah, he used to tell us, and he dropped the food, hard piece of food, that was not pig style or stuff like that. You drop a hard piece of food, dust it off. Wash it off, or dust it off. You drop an apple from the way you can leave it on the ground. You wash it off, dust it off, and you eat it. So he did this. And the people, Muslims, looked at him. They said, no, wait, don't do that. Because they were in front of the non-Muslims. He said, you think I'm going to leave off the sunnah for these ignorant fools? See? But they had a displeasure. They didn't want to be embarrassed. You see? But he didn't care about being embarrassed. It's not embarrassing to him, because he was doing something that pleased Allah and His Messenger. You see? So this is one of the times, we don't want to dwell on that. But this verse is talking about the truth, which is the strongest pleasure, or we can even call it anger, of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another example, another proof is from the Sunnah, where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we can find this hadith in the collection of Muslims, in the book of Salah, in the book of prayer in Muslims, in the section, what is said in the bowing position and the prostration position. What is said, مَا يُقَالُ فِي الرُّكُوعِ وَالسُّجُودِ. What is said in the bowing position and the prostration position. That's a section of the book of prayer in Muslims. It's probably in the first, either the first or second volume. In English, Muslim is 4 volumes. Alright, this hadith, the Prophet made this dua. He used to make this dua in the prostration position and also the bowing position, or the second reason, the bowing position and the prostration position. The prostration, bowing on first. اللهم إني أعوذ برضاك من سخطك وبمعافاتك من عقوبتك. Long hadith. Oh Allah, I seek refuge with your pleasure from your anger. Or your displeasure. I seek refuge with your pleasure from your displeasure. And I seek refuge from your protection from your punishment. This is dua the Prophet used to make when he was in Allahu Akbar, and he used to ruku. Sometimes he would say, Subhana Rabbil Azim, Subhana Rabbil Azim, Subhana Rabbil Azim. There were different du'as he used to make. And one of them he used to make, Allahumma inni a'udhu bi ridaka min sakhatika wa min mu'afatika min uqubatika. Or we say Allahumma hamdan wa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When you go to Sajda, you say the same thing. Maybe about 7 or 8 of these 10 different du'as. But the point is that it proves that Allah has displeasure, strong displeasure, because the word sukh is used in the dua. Yes, sir. Allahumma inni a'udhu biridaka min sakhatika wa bimu'afatika min uqubatika. This is one of his du'as. And we find it, like I said, in Muslim. Also, the third proof that we have in the
so you don't have to say Subhana Rabbil
Azim. No, in fact, we don't want to make it stiff class now, but in fact, the benefit is to learn as many of these du'as as you can, so you can get the benefit of practicing all the sunnah. So sometimes you can say Subhana Rabbil Azim 3 times. And sometimes you can say Subhana Rabbil Azim wa bihamdihi. Sometimes you can say this dua. And sometimes you can say this, you can say Allahumma laka raka'tu wa bika arfa'tu wa bika, and there's a whole long dua. And then sometimes you say something else. And sometimes you say something else. And sometimes you say something else. And there's different versions of different du'as to all do the salah. You can say Allahu Akbar, put his right hand on his left on his chest. You can say Subhanaka wa bihamdika wa tabaraka ismuka wa ta'ala jadduka wa la ilaha ghayruk. That's the one that's most famous to us. Then there's another one, إني وجهت وجهي للذي فطر السماوات والأرض وما أنا من المشركين إن الصلاة والنسك ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له بذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين. Then there's another one, اللهم باعد بيني وبين خطاياي كما باعدت بين المشرق والمغرب. To the end of the hadith. So there's quite a few of them, you know. Even seeking refuge of Allah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Another time you say أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. Another time you say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم من همزه ونفخه ونفسه. So it's different, you know. But he wanted to praise Allah as much as he could. So Allah will reveal these things to him, which we don't find in the Qur'an. Which is another proof again that the Sunnah is revelation. Another proof, because none of these things are found in the Qur'an.
Many of us are learning our deen for the first time across the fundamental basics, which is something across the board everyone's learned in good positions of what to say. But it is not emphasized that the doers are to be added to your salah in the light of which you just explained. Then you say, well, that should be enough, that should be sufficient. And if you want to add something to it, you know, you can, provided that it's permissible, if you find out that it's permissible. Yeah. But my point is that I'm trying to say that I don't think it's emphasized or encouraged enough to understand that making doers, you know, doing this a lot. Versus, when it comes down to the fard and the sunnah, okay, many of us learn the fundamental basics, and it's taught to us that that's your fard, that's it. You just say what is the trust in fundamental basics. But during your sunnah, that's when you add other du'as and things.
No, even in the fard. Okay, even in the fard. Yeah. Like I said, we don't want to make a step class, but whatever you say in your sunnah prayer, you say in your fard prayer. Doesn't make any difference. Salah is salah is salah. Except for one salah, janazah. So the janazah, there's no ruku and there's no sajda. So there's nothing, you can't say these things. Alright, the consensus of the Sahaba is that Allah has displeasure. Strong displeasure. And that he has it, of course, without Tawheed. Anybody remember what Tawheed is? No. You know, the test, you got to review all this week for the test now, you know that, right? You have 7 days to repeat the test. You don't want to test? Okay, we can have a quiz. You say tomato, I say tomato. You say quiz, I say test. Anybody remember what Tawheed is? Tawheed, Tawheed. The house. Okay. So we know that the companions, they believe that Allah has shown displeasure without saying how, without tahrif or changing the meaning, without ta'atir, without negating the fact that Allah has anger, and without tamthil, saying that Allah's anger or displeasure is like the human beings or the angels or the jinns or the animals, displeasure, anything that He created. Alright? So we believe that Allah's sukh is sukhun haqiqiyyun. It is actual, true, real displeasure, not allegorical. But the people of deviance, the Ahl Ta'adir or the Mu'attibah, they say that when it says the anger of Allah, it really means the retribution or punishment or wrath of Allah. It doesn't mean what Allah says it is. And this is why they translate غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ, those upon whom your wrath is on them. This shouldn't be translated like this. No. If you translate like that, it's not bad, it's not a sin. But the real meaning of غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ means those upon whom your anger is upon. The wrath of Allah is a result. The retribution and punishment is a result of His anger. But to say that this means wrath is incorrect because it means anger. Those who Allah is angry with. Okay? And people say, well, isn't that the same thing? No, it's not the same thing. Because I can be angry with my child and not punish him. Okay? I can be angry and he never receive my wrath. Never receive any type of retribution whatsoever. I'm just angry. And you go in your room. That is punishment. Punishment is usually the end result of someone's anger. Usually. But it doesn't necessarily have to be, it doesn't have to necessarily follow it. Alright? So, the people of obedience, they say that when it says Allah is displeasure, strong displeasure or anger, they say that it means retribution, al-intiqam, that He is avenging something, taking revenge or retribution or punishment. Alright? Then we have another word, which is al-karaha. Al-karaha. Al-karaha is another form of displeasure. But it's not as strong as thought. It's not as strong as thought. Alright? Al-karaha, a lot of us sitting here may know about this word in another form. Makruh. The word makruh, which means something that is strongly disliked or unadvised or frowned upon. Yeah. That's the literal meaning. The religious meaning is something else. Which is we don't want to make a simplified, but the religious meaning is something else. Alright, and we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has karaha. There's a verse in Qur'an, chapter 9, verse 46. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the surah is called Tawbah, and He says in this ayah, it is 46, yes, وَلَكِنْ كَرِهَ اللَّهُ بِعَاثَهُمْ. So Allah was averse to their being sent forth. Alright? Allah strongly dislikes them being sent forth. وَلَكِنْ كَرِهَ اللَّهُ بِعَاثَهُمْ. Alright? This is talking about going forth. When you read this particular surah, repentance, the surah repentance deals a lot with war. And from the Sunnah, we have the hadith where the Prophet ﷺ said, the hadith is in al-Bukhari. And it's in the book of etiquette. It's in the section of disrespect and disobedience of parents when they become old or elderly. That's the section of it. In al-Bukhari, in the book of etiquette, or manners, al-adab, al-adab. The hadith says, the Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ كره لكم قيل وقال وكثرة السؤال وإضاعة المال. That Allah strongly dislikes for you, meaning for who? For us. Gossip, he said, excessive questioning, and wasting of property or money. Allah hates it, strongly dislikes it. And of course, the consensus of our rightly guided predecessors, starting with the Sahaba, with the companions, they all agree that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has this attribute without Tawheed, without Tawheed, without Ta'til, and without Tanfir. And for those who came late and don't know what these things mean, inshallah, you're not expected to take the test. But you can get the tape or even get the notes, and I would suggest you get both. And those people who've been here at least almost every week. And incidentally, I talked to the Imam of this message by phone in St. Croix the other day, and he told me that we can do phase 2. He asked me, who do I think is anyone that I can identify here that could do this class, phase 1. So of course, you know who I said. And alhamdulillah. So inshallah, if it doesn't become a problem after we sit down and talk about it, and I'm going to teach you phase 1, and then I'll do phase 2. Or if it's a problem, then he'll be in the class with phase 2, and then we'll just have to try phase 1 another way. Inshallah. So we won't, this will be the last class for phase 1. We're going to try to continue this through the whole year. The people of deviance, they say that Allah doesn't really have this pleasure. He just keeps those people who do these things and in other words, it's keeping them remote, keeping them far away from Him. In other words, you don't gain closeness to Allah. That's what they say that this doesn't mean. It's not really He's displeased with you, or a person, that He's really just not allowing you to become close to Him. That's what they say it means. The next attribute is an-nuzul. An-nuzul. A-N, and as a Nancy, capital N as a Nancy, U-Z-O-O-L. And-nuzul. This is the first one that we've had in all these weeks dealing with these attributes. I hope I spelled this word properly in English. That we don't have evidence from the Qur'an for. It's only from the Sunnah. And before we go on, I want to just re-emphasize that we should be very, very, very careful not to differentiate between the Qur'an and the Hadith of the Prophet. This is a big sin. It's not a mistake. This is a sin. To make a distinction between the Qur'an and the Sunnah or the Hadith of the Prophet, if that Hadith is substantiated by the scholars of Islam to be an authentic Hadith, they unanimously agree that this Hadith is authentic. There's no difference between what you read in Bukhari and what you read in the Qur'an. Both are binding on you. Whatever the Messenger of Allah says, you have to take it, and whatever He forbids, you have to abstain from it. Don't separate Qur'an from Hadith. If the Hadith is authentic, and of course, no one sitting in this room or anywhere else in the world can substantiate the authenticity of a Hadith with their heart or their feelings. This is impossible. Not difficult, it's impossible to authenticate a Hadith with your feelings. I feel this Hadith is not authentic. It just doesn't sit right with me. No. If the Hadith has been substantiated by the scholars of Islam to be authentic, And there's no difference between that and what Allah says in the Qur'an. And Allah mentions this all through the Qur'an. So the people, and you always know the people are deviant. One of the true signs of a person of deviant is that they say, oh, that's not in the Qur'an. That's in the Sunnah. Oh, that's not, I don't find that in the Qur'an. If it's not in the Qur'an, I don't accept it. This is a statement of a kafir. This is a statement of a kafir, brothers and sisters. We're not calling Muslims kafirs. I'm just saying, I'm trying to make people beware of what they're saying. They're not thinking. Because the companions of the Messenger of Allah said, when the Qur'an was being revealed, the Sunnah was being revealed with it. And the Sunnah is found in what we call Hadith. And the reason why I'm saying this, taking this short time out to say this, is because this evidence, the evidence for this, Allah's descending this room, is found in the Sunnah, it's not found in the Qur'an. But for us, it doesn't make any difference. Because the Hadiths are authentic. If the Prophet said it, that's it. That's it. If he said it, that's it. And the Christians and the Jews are more faithful to their revelation than the Muslims. Because if the Christians hear something from the Bible, that's all they want to hear. But if the Muslims hear something from Hadith, which is a part of the revelation, they say, well, I can't accept that because that's not from the Quran. It's a sad situation we're in. But inshallah, Allah teaches us now and see. So the Christian and Nuzul is proven to us in the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, where he said, the Prophet ﷺ says, ينزل ربنا تبارك وتعالى كل ليلة إلى السماء الدنيا. He says in the Hadith in Al-Bukhari, Hadith is authentic, in the book of night prayers, Tawheed, and in the section, the dua or supplications and prayers at the end of the night. Supplications and prayers at the end of the night. The hadith says that Allah's Prophet ﷺ says, Allah, the blessed, the exalted, descends every night to the lowest heaven, to the lowest heaven. He descends every night. So this is one of the attributes of Allah, when He descends to the lower heaven, and this is an established, confirmed attribute of Allah by the Sunnah and also by the consensus of our rightly guided predecessors. And in another hadith, we can also find in Bukhari that the Prophet ﷺ said, يَنْزِلُ رَبُّنَا إِلَى السَّمَاءِ الدُّنْيَا حِينَ يَبْقَى ثُلُثُ اللَّيْلِ الْآخَرِ فَيَقُولُ مَنْ يَدْعُونِي فَاسْتَجِيبُ لَهُ. This is found in Bukhari and Muslim. It says, Allah, our Lord descends to the lowest heaven, at the time when only the last third of the night remains. And He says, who is calling on me? Who's making dua for me? The people who stand up, who divorce themselves from their beds and stand up when everybody else is sleeping, make wudu, for those who make this prayer that most of the scholars say that this prayer is more, there's nothing better than this prayer than the five. The only prayer that's better than this prayer is the five prayers. The five daily prayers, the 100. And Allah descends and He says, مَنْ يَدْعُونِي فَاسْتَجِيبُ لَهُ. Who is it that is calling on me so I can answer them? Who is it that's seeking refuge with me so I can seek forgiveness from me so I can forgive them? And believe me, brothers and sisters, if you haven't prayed this prayer, you should try it, because everything you ask for in this prayer, believe me, inshallah you'll get it. This is a very important prayer. But the point is that the Prophet ﷺ said, the highlight point is, يَنْزِلُ رَبُّنَا إِلَى السَّمَاءِ الدُّنْيَا, that Allah descends to the lowest heaven. The companions, all of them, the companions of the companions, all the way down to the 49, all the scholars who follow their way, they all say Allah descends. The people of deviance, Ahlul Ta'wheed, or Al-Mu'attila, another name for them that we learned, they say that no, Allah doesn't have no rule. He doesn't descend this room. No, what it really means, they say one of three things. It either means the command of Allah is coming down, is descending, or the mercy of Allah is descending, or one of the angels of Allah is descending. So on the quiz, I may ask, what do the people, and I'll put it in multiple choice so you won't, The people of deviance say that Allah's descension or his rule means A, his angels coming down, one of his angels coming down, B, Allah coming down, Allah descends, C, pack of grapefruit is coming down, or, or none of the above. That's the way I'll do it. Alright? And then, of course, you'll put a pack of grapefruit. Right? Alright? I like to ask a question, because these type of questions are going to come on the quiz. Right? For those of you taking the test, it's going to come on the test. Rationally, you may get 25 points for this, or 10, 15 points for this one question. So if you fail, if you only got a 50, if you get this one question like this answer correctly, you over the hump, as you say, right? And as a halfway decent teacher, I'll grade you with a curve, as they say in college. I'll grade you with a curve. Rationally, who can prove from this last hadith that we mentioned that it's not anything but Allah coming in? Listen to the words. To show you how ridiculous the people are beating themselves, to say that it doesn't mean Allah coming down. The hadith says, your Lord, our Lord descends to the lower heavens at the time when there only remains the last. You see? Rationally, we know we don't make dua to the command of Allah. We don't make dua to the mercy of Allah, and we sure don't make dua to one of his angels. Right? So we know that this is Allah coming in. And he's descending. Alright? We know that this is Allah. Just the hadith alone tells you that this is Allah, this is no one else but Allah. Alright? How? We don't know how he's descending. Do we change the meaning of it? No. Do we negate or deny that he comes down? That he descends? No. Do we say his descension is like my descending an airplane in a parachute? No. We believe it the way Allah said it through the mouth of his messenger and the way the companions believe it. Okay? The next one is Al-Adib. Al-Adib, which is amazement or surprise. Amazement or surprise. Allah has, he's amazed and he's surprised. Now, after all these things he mentioned, I can really hear somebody say, wait a minute. How can Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be surprised? Absolutely not. You get it right on the head. His surprise is not like ours. And what's the evidence for that, too? In the Qur'an. What's the verse that you can bring to say that his surprise is not like our surprise? 40-11. That's Allah. Good. 40-11. You wouldn't happen to know that in Arabic, would you? No? You say it in English? Give it to me in English. Be my guest. 40-11. Later commission, he say, وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْبَصِيرُ. There is nothing like him. And he is the hearer of the seer. Right? And وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ Surah Ikhlas. And there's nothing comparable to him. Right. Okay? Allah's amazement or surprise is established by three sources: the Book of Allah, the Sunnah, and the Ijma' or the consensus of the Sahaba and those who follow their way. There's a verse in the Qur'an in chapter 37, verse 12. 37, verse 12. Now I have to explain this verse, because when you read it, you probably won't understand it, but Allah knows better. The verse says, عَجِبْتَ وَيَسْخَرُونَ. But no, but they do, but you do marvel when they mock. You do marvel when they mock. Alright? Now the point is that how does this relate to Allah? So it's saying you are surprised, or you are marveled, or you are amazed when they mock. The Qur'an was revealed in 7 different modes of recitation. I don't know, maybe some of you have read this hadith or heard it before. The Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith in Muslim and other places, he said that the Qur'an was revealed in 7 ahruf. 7 ahruf here it means recitation. Alright? There's different opinion on what the ahruf means, but the strongest opinion and most widely accepted opinion is that it means 7 different modes of recitation. That means that there are 7 different ways that you can recite certain verses of the Qur'an. Alright? In fact, Umar, radiallahu anhu, the second successor of the Prophet, one day, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he heard a man reciting Qur'an in his salah. And Umar said to himself, he said, I started to grab him while he was praying. Just interrupt his prayer and take him to the Prophet. He said, but, I thought maybe it would be better to just wait till he finished praying, and approach him then. So he approached the man after he prayed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. The hadith says that Umar collared him like this. He grabbed him in his collar. He put him on the ground, threw him on the ground, and drugged him on the ground to the Messenger of Allah. Alright, now some of us are making harsh, but that's the way Umar was. And when people do things that's contrary to Islam, that's the way the Muslims were back then. Nowadays, you just let everybody say anything and doesn't do anything. Muslims and non-Muslims. In those days, just the mere difference in recitation of the Qur'an made him upset. So he took the man and he threw him in front of the Messenger of Allah. The man fell. He said, this man right here is reciting differently from the way you taught him. And the Prophet smiled at hadith. He said, recite. And the man recited the way he recited before Umar collared him. Then he said, yeah, Umar, you recite. And Umar recited the way the Prophet had taught him. And he looked at the Umar and he said, surely the Qur'an has been revealed in 7 different modes of recitation. He's right and you're right. Right? Now why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because in this particular verse, this is one of those verses among the many verses of Qur'an where vowels can be, a verse can be pronounced a different way by changing the vowel. Even though you don't see ooh here and it's at, it says, Bel Ajibta wa yabkharun. It can be recited, Bel Ajibtu wa yabkharun. And it'll be legal. Because Abdullah ibn Mas'ud and some other Sahaba, other companions, recited it this way. Abdullah ibn Abbas. Instead of saying Bel Ajibtu or Bel Ajibta, but no. But you marvel at the way they mock. It can be recited legally. It was recited like this in the time of the Prophet while he was alive. Then I did too. No, I am amazed at how they mock. Meaning Allah. If it's Adib said, it means the Prophet. If it's Adib too, it means Allah. And both meanings are correct. Alright? Alright? And there's many other ways in the Qur'an that this has been done. Because of the 7 different modes of recitation you have. The mode of recitation that, and I don't want to make this a 5th class again. Because this is the 5th of Qur'an now. A 5th of recitation of Qur'an. But I just wanted to share that with you so that you'll understand why I'm giving you this verse and why when you read it, it doesn't seem like it fits to what we're talking about. Alright?
I wonder this. I just want to ask the question that you spoke on. You said certain surahs.
Right, certain surahs and certain ayahs.
And yet the Qur'an itself is revealed 7 surahs.
Right, it doesn't mean that the entire Qur'an can be recited totally different from the way you're used to hearing it. It means that there are certain surahs and certain ayahs that can be recited. Right? Because the type of recitation that we're used to hearing every day, in the state recorders, and the masjids, and we hear people reciting, even the brothers who lead the salah. Almost everywhere in the United States, the recitation that you're used to hearing in America is called recitation haf and Asim. That's one of the 7. Well, you have 6 other ones. You have Qalun, you have Hamza, you have Wursh. Like in Northwest Africa, they have the recitation in Northwest Africa, in Tunisia, Morocco, Algeria, some parts of Egypt and Sudan. The recitation that's decided there is not the recitation that you hear here in America. The one you hear in America is called Hafs and Asim. The names of the recitations became popular because of the imams that made them popular from the recitations of the tribes that the Prophet received from Allah through the different recitations. But Wursh is the type of recitation that's done usually in Northwest Africa. For instance, the way we used to hearing the surah Wad-Duha, وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى مَا وَضَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ وَمَا قَلَى. In Northwest Africa, you hear them recited like this: وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى. You don't say وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى. They say وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى. They won't say حَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا. They'll say حَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا. Right? And both of them are legal. You hear them say وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. When we say آمَنُوا وَالصَّالِحَاتِ, آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, they say آمَنُوا. They hold it. See? So there's different ways of reciting. And this verse 12 in chapter 37 is one of those ways. Then we have the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that is not authentic. The hadith is not authentic. It says, يَعْجَبُ رَبُّكَ مِنْ شَبَابِ لَيْسَتْ لَهُ صَبْوَةٌ. That your Lord is surprised at the young man, at the youth, the youthful young man who doesn't have any desire. Alright? This hadith is deemed as an unauthentic hadith. It's collected by Imam Ahmad, and also Ibn Asim, Ibn Abi Asim, and Abu Ya'la, and Al-Tabarani, and Al-Qadai, and Bayhaqi, and Al-Sakhawi, and others. And Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani said it was da'if, it was unauthentic, and the great scholar of hadith that lives with us, is living today, Sheikh Muhammad Nasruddin al-Albani, he also says it is not authentic. But there's another hadith that's connected to this one. It says, كَانَ يُعْجِبُهُمْ أَنْ لَا يَكُونَ لِلشَّبَابِ صَبْوًا. It says that they are surprised that the young man doesn't have any desire. Nonetheless, we have a proof of the Qur'an that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is surprised. Alright? The people of deviance say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not surprised, but they say that His amazement means something else. His amazement means something else. Now, the way the scholars of Islam explain to us what it means by Allah surprise, there's 2 types of surprise. There's one that is impossible to be connected to Allah, which is the surprise that the person has, that they had no knowledge of something, and you see, that's the one that's impossible for Allah. Why? Well, Allah knows everything. But then you have the other type of surprise, which is the coming out of a thing, something, exiting, something coming out, and the reason why there's a surprise is because, for instance, I know how you are, or I know how my car should run. Alright? Now I usually keep my car up, and I keep it in good shape, I always change the oil, etc., 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 right? And then it just automatically breaks down. This is a surprise for me, because it's acting other than the way it usually should act, or the way it's supposed to act. This is the one that's related to Allah. Not that He doesn't know something, and it's just coming upon Him, and it's amazing Him. It's something acting other than the way it's supposed to act. And that's why the hadith, the authentic hadith says, Allah, your Lord, is surprised at a young man who doesn't have desire. Why? Because when you're young, You have to die. Right? I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. I don't think it's an old folks thing. Right? You know what I'm talking about, right? No? I'm surprised at you. I'm surprised you don't know what I'm talking about. Alright? The next attribute, I'm going to try to speed it up, try to get all this stuff in. The next attribute is exact. Which is, I'm still in Arabic, the rule once again. Dawud, ha, kaf. Exact. This is, not going to correctly, laughter. Allah laughs. How does he laugh? We don't know. Do we change the meaning of laughter? No, we don't. All we know is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala laughs. Any questions about this before we go get the evidence? No? None? Any questions before we get the evidence from our sources? Okay. This is not in the Qur'an either. This is only substantiated by the Sunnah and by the consensus of the Sahaba. And we have a hadith that is found in Al-Bukhari in the book of Jihad, striving in the way of Allah, under the section of under the section, the kafir who kills the Muslim, then he becomes a Muslim himself, and then he's killed. Alright? There's a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ said, this hadith in Bukhari, يضحك الله إلى رجلين يقتل أحدهما الآخر يدخلان الجنة. Allah laughs at two men, one who kills the other, and they both go to paradise. Allah laughs at two men, one killing the other, and they both go to paradise. Anyone know the explanation of this? You do this?
Only without invasion, only on what you just said.
On the section of this on?
No, what you just said about a person telling you to disbelieve and then to come to believe.
That's the section of this on, and that tells you what the meaning of it is. Yeah. The reason why Allah laughs is because, and they say, well, how can two people kill each other and both go to paradise? Alright? The person that killed the Muslim was a kafir. The Muslim goes to paradise, because anytime a Muslim is killed by a kafir, this is one of the signs that you can go to paradise. Of course, he's not doing anything wrong. Alright? Because the Prophet in one hadith said, if a man came to him and said, if someone tried to take my property, what should I do? The Prophet said, fight him. He said, and if I kill him, what will happen to him? If he kills me, what will happen to me? He says, he'll go to paradise. He says, if I kill him, what will happen to him? He says, he'll go to hell. Alright? So we know that if a Muslim is killed by a kafir, one of the signs is that he'll go to paradise, inshallah. When Omar was stabbed by that kafir, that pagan, when he was stabbed, going to the masjid praying Fajr prayer, radiallahu anhu, he asked, who killed you? Was he a Muslim or a kafir? And they told him it was a kafir that killed him, because they know he was going to die. So he stabbed him so bad. And he said, alhamdulillah, he thanked Allah. He says, I thank Allah much that a Muslim didn't stab him. Right? Because Allah says in the Qur'an, no Muslim will kill another Muslim intentionally. If he does, he goes to hell forever. So he thanked Allah. See how much man he had in his chest. He was so thankful that it was a kafir. So the kafir will go to hell anyway. He died like that. See? Now you go further to hell. He killed a Muslim. So the hadith says that the Prophet ﷺ said that Allah laughs at two men, one killing the other, and both of them going to paradise. The kafir killed the Muslim, and the Muslim went to paradise because the kafir killed him. Then the kafir accepted Islam, and then he was killed. So both of them were paradise. Right? Another version of this hadith, and the completion of this hadith says, وَيُقَاتِلُ هَذَا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ فَيَقْتَلُ ثُمَّ يَتُوبُ اللَّهُ عَلَى قَاتِلٍ فَيَسْتَشْهِدُ. It says, the other one who was fighting, the one who was killed, he was fighting in the way of Allah. Then, he was killed. Then, the person who killed him made repentance to Allah. Made repentance means what? No, the kafir. When Allah says the kafir makes repentance, what does it mean? The shahada. The repentance for a Muslim is that he goes to Allah and is repentance. The repentance for a kafir is that he leaves kufr and he accepts Islam. He takes shahada. So then the person took shahada, and then he went out to jihad and he was killed. That's the rest of the hadith. Alright? So this is from the Sunnah. And of course, our rightly guided predecessors, the companions, all the way down to those who follow their way. And we ask Allah to make us of them. I mean, they agree that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala laughs. Without tahrif, without ta'til, without takdeef, and without tamtheel. That Allah's laughter is a real laughter. Alright? The people of deviance, they say that it doesn't mean the laughter of Allah, they say it means the thawab, the reward of Allah. Alright? We already went over Allah's ascension. We went over Allah's ascension over the throne. We know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ascends the throne. So we won't have to go into that too much because we covered that. And we went over Allah's highness. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is over everything. But we just like to mention one thing about Allah. One of the attributes of Allah is called Al-Ulu. Al-Ulu. Highness. Al-Ulu. Al-Ulu, highness. Al-Ulu, this is the word we have, the word when we say Allah is, we say in Sajdah, Subhana Rabbi al-A'la, Subhana Rabbi al-A'la, Subhana Rabbi al-A'la. And A'la comes from the same root as Al-Ulu. It means Allah's transcendency, Allah's sublimity, Allah's highness. When we talk about Allah's highness, we mean two things. Allah's highness is divided into two types. Try to get out the way, and then you don't miss that. It means بذاته. And بصفته. A means by himself. Himself. He himself. He himself. That means he himself. I mean, it means Allah himself. He means by his attributes or qualities. We'll say qualities here. Or characteristics. What this means is, when you see it in the Qur'an, where Allah is high, the most high, like you say Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ta'ala means he's exalted, he's the high. Alright? Subhanahu Rabbi al-A'la. We're saying ruku. Glory to our Lord, the most high. We say, Allah says in the Qur'an, Sabbih isma Rabbi al-A'la. Glory be to my Lord, the most high. Or Sabbih isma Rabbi al-A'la. Glorified be Allah, our Lord, the most high. This word, Allah's name, the attribute of Allah that means the Most High, Al-Ulu, has two aspects. One, it means He Himself is always higher than everything. He Himself. See? As we mentioned a couple of weeks back. I'm holding this book, I'm actually holding it itself. This Qur'an. But Allah is also high in His qualities and characteristics, meaning the attributes that he has are above having children, being born, being inside of human beings, being inside of plants, being sleeping, or not knowing something. So his attributes are all high, and he himself is high. Okay? Is that, I don't know if that's clear. Is that clear?
You think that God is telling us that our concept of what we know of as being high, okay, cannot describe his height.
That's right. In other words, I'm saying that he himself, I don't want to say physically because we don't say a lot of physical.
Yeah.
He himself is above everything. And the attributes of Allah, the way people bring him, they make him lowly. They give him attributes of created things. His attributes are also high. Okay, so when we think of the word most high, when we talk about Allah, it means two aspects. He himself and his qualities. And that's why they say, that's why Allah says in the Qur'an, Subhanallah amma yushrikun. Allah is far above any of the defects how they describe him. He's above all this. Okay? And that's what it means by al-ulu. Allah is the Most High. Alright? And I think we mentioned before about Allah creating seven heavens. And over the seventh heaven, Allah says in the Qur'an, He has water over the seventh heaven. And over the water are angels. You mentioned this, right? Yeah. And over that water are angels holding up the throne of Allah. And over the throne is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You mentioned this. So this is also a proof that Allah is the Most High. When Allah descends, I think you mentioned this also. When Allah descends His throne, He descends to the lower heaven. He is always above the throne. I repeat, when Allah descends His throne, He descends it in a manner that is befitting His highness, His greatness, His sublimity, and His magnificence. When He descends it, the throne is not over Him, brothers and sisters. He's still above the throne, but He descends it at the same time.
That's what I meant by when I say our concept.
That's right. That's why you go back to chapter 42, verse 11. There's nothing like Him, but He is the seer that is. You can't compare Allah's descension to our descension. Yes.
When they describe the heavens, the lower heaven, if they eliminate that light star, is that what it is?
Yes. The lowest heaven, and Allah knows best, is that which is the closest to our. No, not our concept, the closest to our home, we call, is it the galaxy? No. Not the solar system, but solar system is the whole thing, right?
Celestial?
Our galaxy. Our galaxy. Not the Milky Way, but our galaxy. Our galaxy. So the lower heaven is that which is closest to us, to where we are on this planet. Because we know there's other Earths and there's many heavens. Allah created 7 of them. Alright? And of course, the distance between each heaven, the Prophet ﷺ said, is what?
50,000.
No, 500 years. Your travel. He said 500 years between each heaven, your mode of transportation. So all the Muslims that are going to come after us in the year 3,000, 4,000, whatever mode of transportation they have, that's how long it will take with the fastest mode of transportation known in whoever's reading that hadith. Between each heaven, the first and the second, it will take us 500 years to get from the first one to the second.
Is that light years?
No.
No, we just say years.
Light years, man, is the time out of the hours.
This is still our calculation. Alright, so we know that Allah has highness. Alright, He is the only one that should be called your highness. Alright, and there's a lot of evidence from this in the Qur'an, and a lot of evidence from this in the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ.
Where can I have this become? How many years?
That Allah, which one? About Allah?
How many years can you say?
It's in Bukhari, the section, I believe it's in the book of Tawheed. Inshallah, I'll make a note of it in a minute.
Bukhari?
Yeah, it's in Bukhari. There's another hadith that says that it's either 71, 72, or 73 years between each heaven. Alright? So, inshallah, we have, because one says, إِنَّ بَعْدَ مَا بَيْنَ السَّمَاءِ إِلَى السَّمَاءِ إِمَّا وَاحِدَةً أَوْ اثْنَتَانِ أَوْ ثَلَاث وَسَبْعُونَ سَنَةً إلى أن قالت العرش بين أسفله وأعلاه مثل ما بين السماء إلى السماء ثم الله تعالى فوق ذلك. Allah gives these heavens, each heaven, then there's the throne of Allah, and over that is Allah. This is collected by Abu Dawud in his book. Alright, and according to this narration of the footnote, hadith is not authentic. The one that says 71, 72, 73, so the one in Bukhari is the most authentic, the 5 of these. Alright, so they got a whole explanation here why it's not authentic. Good thing I saw that. Alright, the next, and we're almost finished, the next attribute, that's it. No. One. The next one is the last one, and that is al-kalam. Al-kalam. Al-kalam is the speech of Allah. Al-kalam. Speech of Allah. This is an attribute of Allah, and some of us may think that this may sound kind of academic, but there are people, Muslims, who say that Allah doesn't speak. Anyone want to take a logical guess why they say logically Allah doesn't speak? That's the tail end of the reason why. But what's the reason why you think they say He doesn't speak? It's similar to the reason why they say He doesn't have anger or love. Do you remember why they say? Did we discuss why they say He doesn't have love, He doesn't have anger?
No.
From the Sunnah, we have a hadith that, inshallah, we'll tell you where it is. I don't have it written down here, but we'll tell you where it is, inshallah. That says, إذا أراد الله أن يوحي بأمره تكلم بالوحي. This hadith is collected by Ibn Khuzaymah. Oh, it's Ibn Khuzaymah, which we don't have in English, unfortunately. Ibn Jarir, Ibn Abi Hatim. None of these we have in English. It says that the Prophet ﷺ said, when Allah desires or intends to inspire by His command, meaning revelation, that He speaks utilizing revelation. Like the brother said, that in fact before you came, you were saying something. In fact, I didn't even get a chance to hear exactly what you were saying. What? Say it again, please, brother.
I had picked up some information. I'm not sure whether I had read or it was told to me. I'm not clear. But it is said that one of the reasons that Allah refrained from speaking to man today direct, as He did to His prophets, was the displeasure or anger of man. And the only way man receives Allah's message is through revelations or dreams or patterns.
Say it one more time. Say it again.
Yeah. I said, it was information I got is that one of the reasons Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refrained from speaking to man since He spoke to the prophet direct. He refrained from speaking to man direct because of the displeasure or anger which He is, and they will only receive His messages through either dreams or revelation.
You know,
I gotta go dig it up. I gotta go find where I remember. I'm inclined to believe I might have gotten it from not from Islam. Not from Islam, more so probably.
Well, there's part truth to it. I don't know about the displeasure part, but there's a verse in the Qur'an where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا كَانَ لِبَشَرٍ أَنْ يُكَلِّمَهُ اللَّهُ, and that it's not befitting, or it's not becoming, or it's not the manner, it's not becoming or not befitting that a person, a human being, that Allah would speak to him. And then I'm saying now, the verse, so I'm about to say now, the verse will say, it means in three ways, that Allah doesn't speak to human beings except for three ways. But the word human being here doesn't mean any human being, it means prophet. Alright? وَمَا كَانَ لِبَشَرٍ أَنْ يُكَلِّمَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَّا وَحْيًا. That's the first way Allah speaks to him. Just like this hadith says, إِلَّا وَحْيًا, either by revelation, which means Qur'an and Sunnah, or min wara'i hijab, or from behind a veil, or the second way, or yursila rasulan, or yursila ilayhi rasulan, or the third way is that he'll send a message. Those are the three ways that the prophet is spoken to. Alright, since we're on the topic of speech. This is the three ways that Allah communicates to prophets. The first, he doesn't do it except by wahy, revelation, or by speaking to him behind a veil, as he spoke to the Prophet ﷺ when Allah's Prophet made the ascension. And Aisha asked, did you see? She was asked by the Prophet, or she was asked by the companions, and she asked him herself, did you see your Lord? Did you see your Lord? He said, how could I have seen him when he was veiled by light? It was a veil of light. The grab of Noor.
And he also communicated with the prophet from an angel. Like he was sent Gabriel.
Right. But with the Prophet Muhammad, he received revelation by all three ways. Alright? By all three ways. One by a messenger. One by a messenger, meaning here means an angel. Or by revelation. And revelation for the messenger of Allah means one of two ways. Either he receives it directly, or he sleeps and he has dreams, and that for a prophet is also a revelation. Alright? Because the Prophet said, Aisha radiallahu anha said that, in fact, this is actually part of phase 2, part of the second semester for this class. So since I'm on already, I might as well say it. Aisha radiallahu anha said that the Prophet said that my heart sleeps, but my eyes sleep, but my heart is awake. And the angels visited the Prophet one time, and while he was sleeping, they looked at him. They said, his eyes are asleep, but his heart is awake. Meaning that when you go to sleep, everything is asleep. But when the prophets go to sleep, their eyes are closed, but they're still receiving revelation from Allah. Okay. And that means Allah is speaking to them. Allah is speaking to them. And this is something that maybe one day we'll talk about. I mentioned this one time in a lecture here, how the Prophet received revelation and how we could read this, because it will increase our iman, and it also drives out that allegorical concept that we have in our minds. So if you read through the Hadith, you will know for a surety that this stuff wasn't an allegorical event. This stuff actually happened. It's real. The Prophet receiving revelation. One time the Prophet, and not deep down, we don't want to get a tafsir class. But one time Abu Bakr was lying down on the floor, and the Prophet, he was his best friend, among the human beings, of course. The Prophet, Abu Bakr said, the Prophet was leaning on my legs. So I can imagine he had his legs like this. And Abu Bakr was leaning on my legs. You know how homeboys, they're hanging out, they lean on each other. He said, I knew the revelation was coming. He said, I knew it had come. He said, because it felt like my leg was about to break from the weight of the revelation. Because when the revelation comes to the Prophet, it should be so heavy on him. Just a few words from the Quran. He would fall. One time he was on his animal, on his camel, Qaswa, the name of his camel, Qaswa. He was on his camel, and when the revelation came, the camel fell out from his foot. Just fell on the ground. He couldn't take it. But the Prophet, Adib says that the Prophet had the strength of 30 men. 30 men. So Allah made him like this to withstand So Allah says, وَلَوْ أَنزَلْنَا هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ عَلَى جَبَلٍ لَرَأَيْتَهُ خَاشِعًا مُتَصَدِّعًا مِنْ خَشْيَةِ اللَّهِ. If we were to reveal the Qur'an on a mountain, we would see it fall down from the fear of Allah. It would just break to pieces. See? So how much more a human being? But anyway, this is the few ways Allah speaks to a prophet, and we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks. Now it's interesting that some of the people are deviant for the ayah in Qur'an in Surah 4 that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَكَلَّمَ اللَّهُ مُوسَى تَكْلِيمًا. How many of you are studying Arabic grammar? You studying Arabic grammar?
Not yet.
Not yet? Anybody studying Arabic grammar? Or has studied Arabic grammar? Okay, I'm going to try to give you a quick Arabic grammar class without you knowing Arabic grammar. I have to do this to try to drive home this point. In this verse, chapter 4, 154, 154. This is the way the verse reads. كلم الله موسى تكليما. I hope that Allah guides me to make you understand. Takleeman. Alright? That's the verse. وَكَلَّمَ اللَّهُ مُوسَى تَكْلِيمًا. Alright? Allah, this is a, I don't know if it's a well. Is it a well? Is it a well? If I'm memorizing things. Yes, it's a well. This sentence is what we call in Arabic jumlatun fi'liyya. It's a verbal sentence. Simply because it's a verb that begins the sentence. You don't even look at it. So and Allah spoke. But the verb is first. That's what you look at. And Allah is the subject. Fa'il. It's the subject of the verbal sentence. Carrying out the verb of speaking. Alright? And Allah spoke to Musa. Musa here is called maf'ulun bihi in Arabic. The direct object. I don't know, I'm going back to the high school days now. In English. Anybody remember that? Direct object. This is the verb. This is the subject of the doer of the verb. And this is the direct object. Alright? And this is called maf'ulun mutlaq. It's something else. Absolute direct object or something like that. Anyway, in this, how can I try to explain this now? Alright. I'll give you another sentence. ضرب زيد الكلب. This is exactly like this sentence above. This is a verbal sentence. They hit the dog. Zayd is the subject, the verb hit is the verb, and the direct object which receives the action of being hit is the dog. Alright? Now how can I do this without messing up? Alright. In Arabic, you can say, it is permissible to have a direct object before the doer of the action. In other words, it's permissible. It's kind of rare, but it's permissible to have this direct object right here next to the verb. And still say, they hit the dog. In other words, the dog won't come at the end of the sentence, because we average right and left. Those who will know. The dog won't come at the end of the sentence. It'll come where Zayd is, and Zayd will come over here. And it will still say, it's rare, but it will still say, Zayd hit the dog. Alright? Am I losing me? Am I losing anybody? Completely losing anybody? Alright. This dhamma here, this Allahu is a proof that Allah is the one doing the speaking. And the reason why, and this, if you go back to the sentence, ضرب زيد الكلب, one of the reasons why you have a fatha on this word, or the only reason why you have a fatha, the hat, the reason why you have it is because that's a sign that it's being hit, that it's direct opposite. Alright? Musa would have it, but he can't have it because of his yak. You can't put this like this. Because Musa is one of those words in Arabic that you can't do that. In your mind, you know it's there, but this can't be written like that. Alright? The deviant people, what's the point? The point is that the deviant people try to say this. And this is the way they even recite it. وَكَلَّمَ اللَّهَ مُوسَى. Musa spoke to Allah. And you will hear them in their recitation. They'll say, وَكَلَّمَ اللَّهَ مُوسَى تَكْلِيمًا. It's a big error, man. In fact, it's a kufr. This is deviant. But now you're denying the fact, it's a ta'qeel. You're denying and negating the fact that Allah spoke to Musa. You're saying now that Musa spoke to Allah. That Allah doesn't have to speak.
So they changed the time?
They changed it. They actually changed the actual wording itself. Alright? Then what they do is they say that when Musa was spoken to, that it wasn't Musa, it was Jibreel. It wasn't Allah speaking to him, it was Jibreel. Alright? So, I went through all that to try to bring this point. Alright? Can anyone besides this verse give us an example that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who's speaking through the Qur'an? Yes.
Well, where Allah tells Moses that he'll put trees on the mount.
That's a clear example. There's one even clearer than that. That's very clear. But what's another clearer one than that? Well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, we know from the verse, there's a lot of revelations in the Qur'an, but there's been one verse where it's clear that Allah is doing the speaking. It's not Jibreel, it's not Muhammad, it's not Musa, or anybody else. And there's a whole lot of verses like this in the Quran. Well, give me an example. English, give me in English, or give me the number of it, or Arabic, or whatever. This is not explicit to say He Allah is one. So the prophet could have said this. And he did say it. And the angels say it. The angels say it. But there's something that's real explicit. It's real simple too. You're probably back in your brain trying to think of something real difficult. But it's really very simple. Anybody have a Qur'an or something? Look at for yourself, Look at chapter 20, verse 14. Chapter 20, verse 14. And also, this verse is Allah speaking to Musa. He's speaking to Musa, he's also speaking to us, of course. Chapter 20, verse 14. You have it? Chapter 20, verse 14. No. 25. Found it? You have it? What does it say?
Lord God is God, there is no God but I. So serve thou me only, and establish register for celebrating my faith.
Right. Inni ana Allah la ilaha illa ana fa'budun. You think Jibreel would say something like this? Surely I am Allah. There's no other one word you worship except me, so worship me. You think Prophet Muhammad would have said this? You think Musa would have said this? No, absolutely not. It's clear proof that Allah speaks. Clear proof that Allah speaks. Because a lot of times he puts himself in the third person, and then sometimes he'll put himself in the first person, as he did in this verse. Okay, that I believe is the end of the aspects that we wanted to discuss. And what time is it? 7:40?
Exactly.
7:40 or
7:45.
7:45. We have 15 minutes to discuss whatever we want to discuss. The test will be. No, I wouldn't do that. Maybe 96%, not 100%. You don't have to worry about it anyway if you're taking a quiz. Everybody's taking a test for you. Any questions left? The test/quiz will be on. It will be multiple choice. It's be here Monday, 6 o'clock. The test it's not going to last any longer than 45 minutes. No, I mean because you'll probably spend about 30 minutes thinking. Another 15 minutes to be right. Those who weren't here that just came, usually, of course, you don't have to come. You can come and hang out and watch the agony if you want. And laugh.
Multiple choice in one category.
Yeah. So it's going to be multiple choice. It's going to be true or false. And the minority of the test system, will be like give the explanation of this or explain this. That'll be like 25 points for this one, 30 points for that. But the ones that are going to be like 5, 10 points, those are the ones that are going to be multiple choice and true or false. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No. See, inshallah, maybe we should have a review before we. So maybe we should have a review on Monday, and then the next Monday have a test.
That's right.
Okay, that's what we'll do. Yes, huh? See this brother right there. Excuse me, what's my letter? This brother right there. Brother, how about you? Oh, that's right. They got some, so they put them all together. Right. So they actually, this is the last one. So actually, when you get them done, you can tell them that. Yeah. Okay, come to that.
So you tell them before the next class.
Probably afterwards.
Afterwards, you won't be able to get them done that quickly?
I'll find out tonight.
How many is about 7 or 8?
9.
Okay, so multiple choice, true or false, and general question. I'll give you an example. What are the people of Egypt called? There's 2 names he gave. Give me one of them. Ahlul Tawheed. Ahlul Tawheed. Ahlul Tawheed. Ahlul Tawheed. People of Egypt. Right? That's one of their names. What's another name? Okay. And I may make it easy now. I may say the name of the demon people is the Ahlul Tawheed. Give me the other name for 10 points. What's the other name? Al-Mu'attila. Al-Mu'attila. I think you already have it written down. You don't? I wrote it. Oh no, I wrote it. In fact, I know I wrote it because I wrote it. Listen, I wrote it on this side of the board. I wrote on this side of the board. I remember the day. I wrote on that side of the board. And I remember the day. It was a Monday. It was a Monday. Am I right? Was it a Monday, brother? MashaAllah. Yeah, good memory, man. I have a real good memory, man. I'll say that, MashaAllah. It was Monday. And it was between 6 and 8 o'clock when I said it, sister. Between 6 and 8 o'clock. This, it means, ta'til means to negate or deny. But it's a phrase together, it means the people of Egypt. Right? No, the Mu'tazila are in the Ahlul Tawheed. The Ahlul Tawheed is all the people of Egypt. No matter what era they come in, what time, what geographic location they in, they all fall under the category of Ahlul Tawheed. Right? They also called Al-Mu'attila. You don't see this in your notes?
Yeah.
These people are anybody that's not following the way of the prophets of Allah and the Sahaba. And we pray Allah, we're not one of them. No. That's everybody that's Muslim that either still Muslims but they deviated or they left Islam altogether. Anybody, doesn't make any difference who they are. These are all the people that are not following the way of the Prophet and the Sahaba in belief and in methodology. Alright? There's a lot of different names for it. Ahl al-Bid'ah, Ahl al-Inhiraf, there's a lot of different names for it. Ahl al-Bid'ah was Dalala. Alright? Any questions about this? Before we, the questions, there's probably going to be about 15 questions on the test. And it's going to be between the number of 13 and 16 on the quiz. Yeah, Monday. Everybody assemble here, inshallah. Monday, starting at 6 o'clock, we'll have a review. We'll probably finish around 7. It won't take that long to review. You know? And what we'll do is, we'll have you read from your notes. And anything you don't understand, inshallah, if I'm able, by the name of Allah, I'll explain it. I would suggest that the people who have come late come and sit in that class, that review. So even if you don't write anything down, be kind of quick with you going through it, just get a chance to listen to it. And you'll get a roundabout view, you know, an overview of everything that we went through. And then when you go into stage 1 again, then you'll be ready, inshallah. Alright? So, anything else? No general questions about anything outside of this class, or anything you have to do with the class, or any general questions at all? I may be able to assist you with anything?
Second level we're going to deal with, it's going to be Tawheed, but what
the second level is going to be dealing with Tawheed. It's going to be dealing with almost the exact same thing we've been dealing with, but more deeper aspects of this. Well, this thing is much wider than this. So actually what we learned today is what they learned in high school. Now, what we're going to learn is the other aspect, well, I say last year high school, the first year of college, in Islamic university. So then what we'll learn next is what we learn in the second, third year of college, in the second period. So this Islamic college, this is college. You know, we're not playing no games here. Right? And then, of course, there's nothing to do with Allah, we're going to be dealing with the angels, we're going to be dealing with the book in detail. The messengers, the prophets and messengers, divine decrees, etc. You know, and all the little detailed aspects. Like, how many types of resurrection are there? How many types of judgment are there? People think there's only one type of judgment. The day of judgment. The day of judgment is 2 types. The day of resurrection is 2 types. There's the resurrection in this life and the resurrection in the next life. Right? First resurrection, the second resurrection. Any questions about this? No questions? We need it down early now, right?
No,
Anyone? 5 minutes? Okay. 5 minutes? No questions about this? Or we want to review? Or I tell you, brother, this is really, I really, you know, this is probably, with no exaggeration, this is one of the best classes that I've ever been in. I really enjoyed myself. And I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, you know, that it's benefit from the little bit that I've learned, that I share with you. And I pray that Allah, He keeps me in your heart to make dua for me. So I can ask Allah to forgive me and have mercy on me, to increase me in knowledge, and to bless me, so that I can also continue to do these things. You know, inshallah. This has really been a good class. I've really learned a lot, believe it or not. I'd like to ask you questions. I want to ask you questions. I have a book here by one of my kids. He has a lot of books out. And he has these things with questions and answers. And questions, people ask him questions. No, this is Sheikh Muhammad Salih al-Husayni. And he has this particular book is Aqidah. what we've been dealing with. Tawheed. And he asked people asking some very interesting questions. And I want to ask one of the questions that somebody asked of him to see, if you see what the feeling is about it. Now, I don't expect everybody to get it right because we haven't gotten to the subject that will help you understand this yet. But I'm going to ask it anyway. Person asked me the question. It says, is the utilization of the word coincidence permissible? What do you say about this here when you answer the question? Who thinks that the utilization of the word coincidence is permissible? Raise your hand. Nobody? You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
Anybody doesn't understand what I'm saying? You do understand what I'm saying? You don't or you do? Right. Is it permissible for the Muslim, those who believe in Allah on the last day, to say, to use the word in our speech, in our vocabulary, coincidentally?